Hello, my name is Javier Canto Angeles, and today I'll talk about the evidence one of this course, which goes around collaboration. In this evidence, what I'll do is discuss, the strategies and how to achieve the objectives and, what to do in order to achieve objectives and resolve any kind of issue that came along with my team in this course. In order to discuss this evidence, I'll talk about the STAR model, how we use the STAR model approach. The STAR model is a model widely used in interviews in which you talk about the situation you were into, how you treated it, how you achieved it, and the results that came with that kind of model. So we only had one issue during this project. This issue was that we couldn't decide which project we were going to carry out because, as you know, we have four different kinds of engineers: mechatronic engineering, computational science engineering, physical engineering, and nanotechnology engineering. So we had quite different perspectives on how to carry out a project and which kind of projects we have to carry out. So, what we did in this kind of project, the situation was that one. How we treated it was to talk within all of us. Even though my role in the team wasn't the leader, I oftenly stayed active in discussions and in order to, provide my perspective on, the work. We had three different projects, which was the first one was a cup that detected if your drink was, had something that was, it had something additional to the drink. We also have, this kind of AI system that would detect crimes taking place by using the security footage, the security surveillance footage in, C5 systems. And finally, we have an app that served as a sign language translator. So those were the projects that we have. How we treated this issue was by talking, okay, which one was the quickest to do, which one was the easiest to do, and which one had the most impact. Even though crime is a key aspect in our nation, I talk about how it would be quite difficult to, to get the governmental licenses to use that kind of footage, or how to avoid, those kind of human rights violations and privacy violations that may come by using this kind of footage and being submitted it to AI. So after I proposed that, we discussed the idea out, we threw that idea out. Then the cup was quite simple and it didn't involve much of the, ETSS, the computer science engineering. So it only involved, the nanoscience, and me, mechatronics, for manufacturing. So we discussed that one out as well. And finally, we used the app because it was the easiest and the quickest to do. And we also believe that one had the most impact of all. That's the result. We resulted it in that way. So, my role, as I mentioned, it was as a speaker and as a collaborator. I was not a leader, but I was a collaborator, an active collaborator. You have to consider everyone's abilities and backgrounds in order to do a full project, because you do that in order to do a great project. Um, well, when we couldn't agree between the teammates, we talked about it and we find the results, as I mentioned previously. How we handle inclusive language, we did not have to handle it this one, but we as ITESM students, we have to be prepared for any kind of problem. So we are quite really prepared. Speaking for myself, I am prepared to deal with that kind of situation when I have to use inclusive language in order to provide a safe space and make everyone the most productive possible. How do we ensure that collaboration has been effective? Well, what I did was to promote, a safe space, to make everyone's ideas accepted, and to maintain everyone as productive as possible, because that helps the project a lot. Now that I have the opportunity to work in a multidisciplinary team, do I prefer working independently or be part of a work team? Definitely a work team, because by working in a work team, you get the fullest perspective possible and you have the greatest outcomes than working individually. Working in a team is quite better and does a huge more impact than working individually. And well, according to the research that I carried out, have we used the strategies they mentioned? By that kind of thing, I came with these two books, and both of these books encourage, the active collaboration and making the safe space as possible. Because, in diversity, you might come up with cultural problems, cultural issues, but those same cultural issues might take the greatest solutions ever. So you have to make everyone feel it's in a safe space that we did. We have to maintain everyone encouraged to participate, which we did and I did, and we have to maintain everyone productive in order to have a great project. So yeah, I believe that's it. Thank you so much.